Alright, so here's a little recap of last night's group lesson, Guitar 101. We are on week 3. And so what we kind of talked about is we learned some basic melodies, single note melodies, and kind of reviewed some chords, as well as learned, a new tune and some technique, as well as a little bit of theory. So to start out with, what we did is we kind of just ran through chords. So we got our E minor chord, we went through that, and then we went E major, then A minor, and then we played a D, C add 9, and then a G. So, as we know, the E minor, E major, A minor, dropping everything down a string set. What we'll realize here, when we go to the next 3 chords here, a little bit of new ones. We got our D major chord, which is our pointer finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, index or middle finger, 1st string, 2nd fret, and then 3rd finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then we want to hit strings 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's our D major chord. And then what we want to do to make a really cool chord, release your middle finger, and we're going to hit 4, 3, 2, 1, but the high E is going to be open. Kind of spacey. That's called a D sus2, but as you can see here, our D major, to make this D sus2, this note is planted, that note is the same planted. And it sounds pretty. And then if you keep your middle finger off and add your pinky now to the high E 3rd fret and play strings 4, 3, 2, 1, that creates a D sus4. So what's really cool, D sus4, remove the pinky, keep that high E open, D sus2, put your middle finger down, D major chord. So the song that we added into this was Tom Petty's Free Fallin', a different way to play it in a different key. So what we're starting on there is we're going to a D major chord, and then we're going to go to a D sus4, and then D sus4 again, and then D major, and then D sus2. So we got D major, then D sus4, D sus4 again, D major, and then D sus2. And you can add a little bit more of a percussive slap, so you just kind of slap the strings so you can go. So that's the cool way you can do it. And then at the end, you can add like a little bit of a pause and then do a rhythm goes down, up, down, up. So how that would sound is D major. Okay, hang on one sec. So I'm holding that pause for a little bit on that D sus2, and then I'm going down, up, down, and then now I'm repeating. So it's kind of, you think John Mayer and stuff like that. Another way you can do this is with a claw, which is kind of cool because we're just using the 4 strings here, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what we want to do here is we want to take our thumb and then place that on the D string here, first finger on the G string, second finger, middle finger on the B string, then third finger here on the high E. So we got 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I had to retune there for a sec. So we got, there we go. So what we want to do is we want to rest, kind of put like a claw like that. And then we just want to rest our pointer finger, or thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, fourth finger. And then just kind of grab the strings, kind of pull. Like you're trying to peel apart a piece of candy or something out. And then you can add these to the chords. So then you can do that percussive slap, and then if you want to add that little part there, you can just take your pointer finger and just kind of rake it across the strings, which is kind of cool. So if I did it this way, come on, pinky work. And then what's really cool here, D sus2, D, D sus2, and then D sus4. Now check this out. If you keep these planted here, the high E and the B string, and then you move where your third string was, move that up to the fourth string, second fret, and then put your middle finger at the fifth string, third fret. That chord, you'll have your C add 9, which is pretty sweet. So we got our D major, D sus2, D sus4, keep these planted, move third string up to fourth string, then add your fifth string here, third fret. That's a C add 9. And you keep everything here in the bottom, and then you just move your pointer finger up to the fifth string, middle finger up to the sixth string. You got your G major chord. C add 9, G. So as you can see here, I'm just moving up one string. So a lot of these things, you'll have repeated stationary notes, and then you're just usually having to change only one note here. So you could also play something like down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So that would be Knocking on Heaven's Door with Guns N' Roses version. Then we worked on some single melodies. So with those, what we did here, we learned the We Will Rock You by Queen, which is pretty sweet. And that one, what we do, we're just going to do it on the A string here. And we want to go to the 9th fret here, And then I would say do it with your pointer finger. We're just going to do it with our pointer finger. And then we're going to go, so 9, 8, 6, 4, 6, 6. So then 9th fret, just think it's 2 frets away from the double dot. So 12, 12, 11, 10, 9. Then so that was one of the melodies we learned. And then the next melody that we learned was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. So I'll play it first. So what we're doing there is we're going to the 7th fret here, and we're going to go hit that twice, and then now we're going to go up to the 10th fret, and then back to the 7th fret, then 5th fret, then 3rd fret, 2nd fret. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. And then this last part, we're going to play up to here. And then we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go 3, 5, 3, 2. So we got number 1. Second time around. So that was our next melody. And then we kind of got a little bit into theory. I'm not going to go super in depth with this. But as we know with our musical alphabet, A through G, and then the chromatic scale, the 12 tones and everything, if you go on a piano, you got the middle C there, white key, and then you got the first black key, and then white key, second black key, white key, then black key, white key, you know, so on and so forth. And you play that all the way up to the next C. So in order to do that on the guitar, you can play it pretty much almost anywhere, but it would be different. We're just going to take our open B string here. So if you look at your chromatic scale, you know, we have our note B, and then the note after that would be C because there's no B sharp. So that means the first fret here would be called C. So if I go C here, the next fret would be C sharp or D flat. That's that inharmonic equivalent that we'll get to when we get to this whole circle of this thing. And then our next fret would be D, and then D sharp, E flat. E is the 5th fret, then F, and then F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat. There's our B, and then C. So that is a chromatic scale on the B string. And then what we talked about is the major scale. So that formula, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And then also the scale degrees, which I'll get into. So we're going to do a C major scale, which is all the white keys on the piano. So if we know this note is C, we want to go a whole step, right? So that would be going from fret 1 to fret 3. So we're just climbing up the alphabet. So we're all going to have natural notes, no spiced notes. So first fret to third fret is C to D. So that's our first whole step. Put a big W there. Our second whole step, third fret to the fifth fret, is D to E. So that's our second whole step. And then we have a half step here. So then we want to go 5 to 6. So that's E to F. So that's our half step. And then now we want a whole step, be F to G. And then that would be frets 6 to 8. Whole step again. And then now we're going to do frets G. G to A is 8 to 10. Whole step again. And then now we need one more whole step. 10 to 12, that would be the notes A to B. And then now we need a half step to finish off the scale. B to C. There's our half step to finish off the scale. And we use this to build any scale, and I'll get into that here. So in a second. So we got, I'm just gonna call out the numbers really quick. So it'd be 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So there we had 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're back to 1. So because we have 7 notes there, the numbers here now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C. Those are called scale degree numbers. And this is how we, build scales, chords, and this is how we identify things through intervals and all that fancy stuff, which we'll get into. Let's say what I'm going to get into now is that circle of fifths here that I'm trying to mention. It's kind of scary at first. So right here, of course it has to do with backwards. We got our neutral C here, right down the middle of the pie. And this is where all of our natural notes would be C here. So circle of fifths, let's say if I wanted to do a G scale, right? So the C to G, what that is if you take a C major scale, number-wise, you got notes C, D, E, F, and G. So C is the first degree, D is the second degree, E is the third degree, F is the fourth degree, and then the fifth degree. So C to G is what's called an interval of a fifth. You're going from one note to a different note. So you're going up 5 notes. C, D, E, F, G. And then now to build that scale, let's say G major. So this is what's called the sharp side. This is where that inharmonic equivalent sharp flat thing comes in. So if I wanted to build a G major scale, we're going to do this on the high E string. So that would be, we got our high E here, and then now we want to find the note G. So first fret, F, second fret, F sharp, and then we got our G. So now we just want to plug in that whole formula. We want to go a whole step first. So if we look on the chromatic scale, we want to go G to A, frets 3 to 5, first whole step. Second whole step, 5 to 7, A to B, second whole step. And here's a B here, so now we want to go half step up to the 8th fret, B to C. half step. And then now we want to go up a whole step again. C to D, which is 8 to 10, whole step. And then now we want to go another whole step, D to E, 10 to 12. So, and if you think, E, E. And then now we want to go another whole step. Well, we got an E here, so there's no E sharp. This note's F, so we need to go whole step. So we need to skip this fret. So this note here is what's called F sharp, and that's what we call the spicy note. So this is the third whole step, F sharp, and then you go a half step to finish it off, and you're back at G. So we got frets 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So now I'm going to say the notes. G to A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F sharp, and then F sharp to G. So that is a G major scale. So now, if we go to the left here, we got an F. So this is what's called the cycle of fourths. So what that means is we have our key C, right? So what the note is that we need to go to is F. So if we take a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? So we go to the fourth number, C, D, E, and F. So first degree, and then the fourth degree would be F. So that's where we get that wonderful F. So now what we want to do, build that major scale. So we got our high E string here, and then we got our F here. So we just build our whole formula again. So frets 1 to 3 is F to G, first whole step. Now second whole step, G to A. And then now we need to go a half step, right? So we're going to go fret 5 to 6. So this right here, because we're on the left side here, that's the flat side. So this note right here, 6th fret, would be called B flat, because we're on the left side of the circle here. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our whole step here, 6 to 8, B flat to C. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go 8 to 10, C to D, and then go another whole step, 10 to 12, D to E, and then half step to F. So we got 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 13. So that's how you build an F major scale. So any of these scales here, so like C, G, D, A, E, so on and so forth, and then F, B flat, E flat, A flat, then we just play that same formula for each one of these. And I'll send a picture of this so it actually shows up correctly. So for example, if I took the key of D, right, I'm going to go on a chromatic scale. So if we take the second degree, or the second string here, and we find the D, right? So we're going to build the D major scale. We got C here, C sharp, D flat. And then now we got our D here. So because we're on the right side, that means we are on sharp land. So we want to go a whole step. So we're going to go 3 to 5. That's why these fret markers are nice. So that would be notes D to E, first whole step. Then now we want to go another whole step. So we're skipping that F here because we want to go whole step. So we're going to go 5th fret to 7th fret. This would be E to F sharp, second whole step. Now our half step would be 7 to 8, F sharp to G. And then now we want to go up a whole step, 8 to 10, that'd be G to A. Now 10 to 12 for another whole step would be A to B. And then now what we want to do is we want to go another whole step, B to C sharp. And then we need 12 to 14. And then 14 to 15, C sharp to D. So that has 2 sharps in it. So G has 1 sharp in it, which is F sharp. D has 2 sharps in it. And as we keep going around the circle, the sharps keep increasing because we're starting on a higher note. So we got C, and then G, and then you keep going up the alphabet, you know, so on and so forth. You get more sharps, you get more flats. So D major scale, I'm gonna go through the numbers first, fret wise, and then say the notes, and then scale degrees, and we'll go from there. So fret numbers: D is 3, E is 5, 7 is your F sharp, 8 is your G, 10 is your A, 12 is your B, 14 is your C sharp, and then you got your D. So we got 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to home. And then that's that. And then next week, what we'll get into, actually really quick, I'll point out how to build a chord, right? So we have our chords there, our C, D, G, A minor, E minor, right? So let's say we take a C major chord. So what we're building here is actually a triad. So it's a 3 notes put together. So that's what's called a triad, which is a chord. So 3 notes. So if we take our C major chord here, of these notes are actually doubled up. So this is a C, that's a C. And then you got our G, and then we got our E here, and then E. So how to build a major chord is we want to take the root, which is the 1st degree of the scale. So that's how you're identifying whether it's major or minor. If it just says C, that means it's major. If it's C with a little m, that means it's minor. So I'm going to show just a little bit, not doing the whole chord, but just the part of it. So we got our C here, and then we want to go to our 3rd degree. So remember how I was mentioning degree, scale degrees? So we want to go to the 3rd note of this scale. So C, D, E. So that is the number 3. So that's what's called a 3rd, major 3rd. So when we build that chord, that is the note E. And then we want to go up to the 5th note, which is G. C, D, E, F, and G. So the 3 notes that we want to play is the C note, E note, and then the G note. C, E note, G note. So 1st degree, 3rd degree, and then 5th degree. So we got 3rd fret, A string, 4th string, 2nd fret. So that would be C, E, and then we got this open G string. That's what makes it 1, 3, 5, and that's what makes it major. And then there's going to be, areas where certain notes are going to be flipped around. Those are called inversions, like a D major here. The root would be here, 5th would be here, major 3rd would be here, but we're not going to worry about that. So that's our major chord, right? So now to make it sad, we're going to make a minor chord. What we do is we take the 3rd degree and we lower it by half step. So that means that this note here would go down to the 1st fret. So then we'd still play this note, C, and then this note right here, that's called flat 3. So that E turns into an E flat. And then we still keep the 5th as it is, which is G. C, E flat, G. Now major. C, E, G. So you can hear that difference. C, E, G. C, E flat, G. So give that a shot. See you next week.